Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everyone. Welcome back to the BS podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven. And today we're going to be talking about photography.
Yes, everything about photography. Well, not anything that we got in this time slot, I
We're
guess,
gonna
right?
we're gonna do our best to be talking about as much as we can.
Se lo pongo aquí, ¿ok?
Okay, Pina. Estamos en cámara.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I love my family sometimes.
But,
So I don't know where to start. There's so much to start, but let's start with the easy. Like, what got you into photography?
I'd like to say I was kind of always into it because I was very surrounded by broken cameras when I was smaller, actually. My grandfather was a photographer. My other grandfather was a photographer on the same side of the family because there was two separate ones.
Yeah, of course.
But, no, they were into it. And, like, I guess growing up, I always had, like, this big broken Nikon camera at home that I always used to walk around with as a baby. And I would kind of just make the thing go click, and I would look through it and click, and I would just do that. And that eventually got me into taking my parents' phones and, like, taking pictures of random things. And I guess it built off of that. Obviously, at that point, I was just taking pictures. I was just pressing a button.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into maybe around high school when it was me seeing it more as an art form, when I started seeing other photographers and other artists that did it. And I was like, wait, this can be way more emotional, impactful. And this could actually potentially change my life, even not in the most grandest of scales, but even in the smallest of bits. Like, it makes waves. And told my parents about it, and then for my birthday, they got me a camera. My DSLR was a D3200, very basic camera.
Yeah.
Came with 2 lenses, carrying case.
I mean, that has everything that you need.
Yeah,
You
literally.
don't need anything else on top of that.
Literally.
The second lens is a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was kind of with that for maybe 2 years, started getting like small gigs here and there. Made enough money to buy my first upgrade, which was like a D50, no.
Do you know, I don't actually know the
Nikons like that.
I don't know the Nikons like that,
yeah.
and there's so many like
Yeah. It's
things.
like, it's so
I know
weird to remember.
I know the less zeros, the higher it is.
The quality, yeah. Oh,
That's
it was
it.
a D5600. Now that you said that, now I
Okay,
remember.
there you go.
D5600, and I remember pulling that one out the box, and that's when I knew I was going to change my life. I pulled it out the box and I dropped it like right out of Best Buy. I came out of Best Buy and I'm like, God, I'm so excited for this fucking boom, 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 3 times. And I looked at my friend that was with me and I was like, I can't believe that just fucking happened. And he's like, and you said no to the fucking warranty. And I was like, yeah.
No, you could still, you could have still turned
No,
around.
I know, but it was funny, like, just to say like that. And then, I just picked it up and it only had a couple of scuffs and I'm like, fuck it.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked perfectly fine.
Okay,
It only
then
had
you're
like,
fine,
it only had
'cause I
like,
was gonna be like,
yeah, oh, if that were the case, bro.
imagine you dropped it and just completely gone. You're just
I would have just quit photography right there. I would have just been like, no, never mind. This shit's not for me. And then, now I'm here, upgraded my gear. Now I'm shooting on film. Now I'm just more involved in it. Like, now I'm super intrigued. Now I spend a lot of my time just thinking about potential shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, here I am with it.
Is it? What would you classify like your current work as? Is it more experimental, conceptual?
It's
portraits?
it's like a conceptual portraits for sure. I
Conceptual
do
portraits.
do a lot of like experimental like stuff with my film camera.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes I'll remove the lens, keep it on like an outer thing. It's kind of like hard to fuck around with it. Like I'll sand down the light seal and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So in that aspect of it, I'm super experimental because I don't mind fucking on my camera because I'll just buy another one now. But not in
You
like
got money.
no,
Like
no,
that,
no,
'cause
no,
I was-
no.
I'm
That's not
over
what I
here-
meant. That's not what I meant.
I'm
That's
over here like, bro.
That's not what I
If
meant.
I did that to my camera, I'd be fucking crying.
No, I
Alright,
feel
come on,
no. I feel that. I go. Okay, no,
You got
I'm not a
money.
snob, guys. Please.
You got money.
What I was trying to say is like, now I have no like, fuck. How do I put it? Like money will always come back, so I'm not like
Yeah.
as money scared anymore as I used to be, and it's for something that I love, so it's always gonna be worth it. Like I can
Yeah.
always justify it because it's like, yeah, I fucked up my camera, but look at this picture I got and look at how happy I am, and I'll point at my heart and you can't see it, so it doesn't fucking matter. But to me, it matters. And I think that's the best part about it. But yeah, conceptual photography is like my go-to. I like making people think when they look at my work.
Yeah.
It's I like hearing other people's interpretations off of an idea that I had that I'm not going to explain to anyone.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I thought of this, and they're going to be like, what is it? And it's like, you tell me.
That's some Andy Warhol type of shit.
Yeah, I guess so. And it's like I just want I want to hear what people think. Like, what does it make you think of when you see these colors mixed with this? When you see this with that? These props, all the props that I have. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to share all the work that I'm doing.
Which I never even knew you had props, because at least for the photos that I've
Yeah,
seen,
yeah.
it's kind of I wouldn't say straightforward. It's experimental, but it's like
it's very long exposure.
yeah, exactly. Because you have all the blurred ones of the self portraits.
Yes,
That was another
yes.
thing I was gonna ask. Like, you do a lot of self portraits, right?
I do. It's a means for me to like discover more about myself because I'm not comfortable in front of a camera in general.
Yeah, and here we are, like episode 4.
Yeah. Look at that. It's weird. Like I'll always say I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. I used to have an unboxing channel. I used to have a fucking like just regular photography channel, and
There you go.
But like no, I'm still very like not comfortable getting my picture taken. I feel like video is
Yeah.
one thing, but then getting your picture taken, it's like damn, I'm that ugly, and then it's like fuck.
I mean, I'm the same way. I hate pictures of myself. I do not
Right.
want to see any pictures of myself ever. Okay? If
I feel that.
If I had a choice, I don't want to see any pictures of me.
Yeah, no,
I
I'd
am
rather
s-
people blur me out.
Yeah.
If it's a group photo, just like cross me out.
That's why I'm happy I'm being, like, I am a photographer.
Yeah.
Because then I'm behind the camera, not in
Right.
front of the camera. And it's like,
You get to
well,
hang
you need a portfolio, right? So you need to have a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I really?
Is that how that works?
Yeah, well,
I don't have a portfolio. I don't know.
if you have, if like apparently, like if you have a website, portfolio kind of thing,
Interesting.
you know, you don't
Selfie
have
window?
to, but it's just more. It's easier for the public when they look at you
Right.
to be like, there is another person doing this. It's not like
It's not an AI.
it's not an AI.
It's not a robot
it's not
taking
fake.
a picture.
It's
yeah.
like so it
That
does
makes
help
sense.
to like see, you know, like imagine like if you're gonna go see a doctor, you would want to see a picture of their face before seeing
No,
that
no.
doctor. No, all right, never mind.
Not at all. Not at
That's
all.
me. Like I would want to make
They
a
can just put their boop, and that's it. Leave it. I don't even need to know their name, no nothing, no date. I don't need any of that. Just
That just sounds like you can get that done outside for free without medical insurance.
well, don't need a picture for it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Same thing. Either way, if it's covered by medical insurance, why not, right?
Yeah.
But but
I can't with you sometimes.
forbidden doctor. But yeah, no, it's just I don't know. Photography's fun, and it's like a great way it's a great thing for multiple people to get into, not as a profession, but like sometimes as a hobby, because you never know. It could be the thing that helps you in life. I use it as a means of therapy, and it's benefited me a lot because the more I do these self portraits, the more I begin to understand my body and myself and how much
Yeah.
I truly appreciate it and what it is I appreciate about it. Also, it like makes me feel a little more vulnerable that I'm allowed to be with myself because I feel like I close myself off to myself, if that makes sense. And I don't like to be expressive with like certain ideas or emotions that I have. But through photography, I'm very in the process of getting used to the idea of it. So these movements, these long exposure shots that you see like that I take, it comes from a place of me dancing in the light. Like I'm just naked with socks.
I mean, I could tell that you're not wearing a shirt, but that's as
well,
far as I
I'm
need
telling
to
you,
know.
no, I'm naked, just socks on, nothing else. Socks on and a condom on. No, I'm wearing pants, but yeah, it's just me
Pants
dancing.
and a
like-
condom underneath that,
I always gotta be ready,
so you can fuck people through the camera. Or like,
so I can fuck myself. I'm already halfway undressed. I might as well go all the way with
oh
myself.
god.
But yeah, no, it's it's a whole thing, and I really like it. And it makes you like you get these weird responses. I love to work with color.
Yeah.
Color is like my favorite thing. Which is
Same.
funny because this new series I'm doing is black and white,
Oh.
so it's
look at that.
very contrasted from what it is I usually do. But it's fun, and yeah, I love to work with color because it really does translate emotions so well, and it's so important to study color and how much it really affects you and draws your eyes into like each and every
100%.
photography, and that's what I love a lot about it. Very colorful. That's why I use such bright lights, such deep blues, reds, and
Yeah.
everything in my work. It's just it makes you react differently, and it makes me react differently when I'm taking the shot. Like when I'm doing like these movements and everything, you can tell it responds depending on the color.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That shit I live for.
I mean, that's me too. I am a huge color fan, and
I've seen in your work, it shows. It's
yeah,
prevalent.
like I love when it's like, I love two things. I love deep, dark blacks. I love it
yeah.
when the black is so deep. Like you can't see anything past it because it's so black.
Right.
And then I love the punch of color that comes through it. And then that's like my kind of
That big
shtick.
pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
huge pop. And then everything else is dark, so all your eyes just gravitate straight to the color.
Absolutely.
And it's like I studied color theory on my own for a little bit, and I have like 4 books in my room that I haven't read. But like, I've read the first chapter.
Just to
of
know
each.
that they're there.
I read the first chapter of
Yeah, yeah.
each, and I should probably read more. But for me, it's like I don't know. I've always loved color, but I feel like for me, it's
Comes natural.
I wouldn't say it comes natural. I just feel like it's kind of part of my heritage in a weird way.
Okay.
Because like, you know, being Colombian, we're super poppy in colors, and we're super like I guess it comes down to like, you know, this little bit of self-expression is there.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm very extroverted, I'm very out there. It's like sometimes I'm reserved, but I love to be out there and like
And it
showing my
reflects,
colors
right.
and showing myself, and it's like all that stuff. And so like
Yeah. I do
it's
see
like
the
a-
parallels there.
Yeah.
Where it's like deep darks being the reserved part, and then the pops of color. Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's actually the basis for most of my photography. And then when it comes down to it, like the same thing for me as in it's a therapy. For me, photography is a therapy, and for my story, the little bit of it is that I didn't actually grow up with like any person in my family being artistic.
Okay.
Turns out later in life, a lot of them are artistic. So it was like weird because I was the only one in my like immediate family to come out very artistic. My family didn't really push me to be artistic. I wouldn't say they shunned me away from it. Like they allowed me to do art,
Yeah.
but as a hobby or as a, you know, I wouldn't say therapy because they don't believe in that, but like, they don't. You know, it's just an expression, I guess, or
Yeah.
no, not even, just a fun pastime would be the best way to put it.
Right.
Like, a
Okay.
hobby.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. And so it's like I grew up with music, I grew up drawing and all that stuff, but as I got older, they took me out of it, or like we got too busy for it, and like there was other things to do, and so it was like I never got to fully enjoy it to the full extent. The kind of thing for me with photography is that I've always loved photos without knowing that I loved photos. And like one of the things I would do as a kid would be like try to convince my family to get me the better phone
Okay.
every time. But I swear to you that like at the end of the day, I knew that there was no reason to get a better phone except for the camera.
The camera quality. Okay. Yeah. Because
So
that's
I've
like the
always-
constant that goes up.
Yeah, exactly. Because everything else stays the same. At the end of the day, we use our phone for 3 things: talking, texting, and maybe like apps.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then photos. That's it.
True.
So I grew up taking like photos on my phone all the time, and my brother got a semi-professional camera. He actually got an early Sony mirrorless camera,
Oh,
like
wow,
one of the
okay.
first ones. It was like $3,000 at the time for that setup. But you know, he had his own money. He was an adult. He could do whatever he wants now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I went down the same path as him. You know, he let me use the camera from time to time under his supervision, and then it's like I got more into it, and I was like, oh no, I really like this. Like this is. You okay there? Don't die on me.
Anyway.
You know, I was waiting for that too. I was waiting for it to come back.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm great. Go. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, do you need water? We have like 3 bottles next to you. You need a moment. We'll come back after this commercial break. Just go. Just get it out.
No, I'm good. Go for it. That was good.
I hope you know I'm gonna insert like clown music in that part.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just like we'll be back.
The
Hi, Sophie.
but Jen, go on.
All right. So yeah. So my brother got the camera. He let me use it under supervision.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, the world kept going and they came out better and better cameras and things like that.
Right.
So once it's my turn and I had my money, and I was like 20 something, I was like, you know, I'm bored with life. I'm bored with everything I'm doing. I'm not happy with anything I'm doing. And so you know, I've always done music,
Yeah.
but I've never been good enough to do music, if that makes sense. I like it.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
100%.
because it's like as a kid, once again, I haven't practiced enough to continue
Yeah.
doing it well.
I get what
So
you mean completely.
yeah, so it's like I know all my basics. I can pick up a guitar. I can go with a melody. I can do a rhythm, but that's it. Like I can't do a full on song with a band because I'm fucking out of
Right.
tempo.
Okay.
So, so I realized after a while, like getting the new iPhone. I think at this rate it was like the iPhone 8. No, not even the 7. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like, I really love the camera on here. I want to get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next iPhone 8. And then I got the 8, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. And then I got, well, now I have the 12. I upgraded from the 8 to the 12. So it's like, by that point, I was like, I'm spending way too much on a phone.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, why not just... Yeah, okay, I feel you.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a camera. And so I got myself a camera, which is funny because now I think about it, it's like it's literally the same camera my brother had, just upgraded. And it looks exactly the same. Except
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. And so, like, that's what made me realize that I've always loved photography. And then I started in it, and I was, like, doing it as a hobby. And then the more I did it, I was like, no, I want to actually do this. I actually want to do this as a profession, and I want to push myself to be a professional photographer.
Right.
Really difficult.
Ooh, I have a couple questions now.
Yeah.
Now, it's the two different parts of what you said. So the first part, like, do you think... How much of your photography is, like, conscious and subconscious? Like, how much are you...
It
in auto
depends
mode?
on what I'm doing. So I'm primarily a street photographer and then secondary portrait photographer, but I do want to push up my portraits.
You know what? Oh my
Again?
God. No, I just had that. You said street photography for some reason, like, my head pulled off, like, had a little SNL moment. And it was just, like, I pictured you outside just taking pictures of the street.
Oh my God.
In just, like, different locations, though. And that was pretty good for me.
I'm going to do that now.
You should do that. I'm a street photographer on TikTok and just... Nice.
No, it's
Yeah.
not like that.
But street photography...
Yeah, the street photography is mostly people. My favorites are reflections and going and looking. It's creepy, but going through windows, so, like taking pictures through windows.
I get what you mean.
Like if you guys go to my Instagram, it'll make sense. But like, my favorite thing is restaurants, bars, reflections.
Okay, yeah.
and doing it at night.
I see that a lot of your work. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So that's like my favorite thing because I'm such a foodie.
I'm a fan of it too.
I love food.
Oh, I know you do. I'm a fan of it, like your pictures, because it's very. Not only do you frame them really nicely, but then the subframing because of the windows also adds that extra bit.
Yeah.
Because like explaining his pictures a bit from an outsider perspective, it's just very like, it's nicely framed, and then you see the subframe, and inside that subframe from the windows you get color, where everything else is dark on the outside. It's very like popping in color on the inside. There's life through the window. And it kind of makes you think, like, oh my God, there's just so much happening in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it can be anything from, I have one that's like just a teddy bear by itself sitting
I've
at a,
seen-
that was Valentine's
That one's
Day.
nice.
I have a lot of different kinds of things. I love classic cars. It's a big,
Right.
big one for me. It's like if I see a classic car, I'm gonna sit there for like 15 minutes and take all the pictures I could think of for that classic car,
I love
hands
that.
down. And then my portrait. So the question is like, what's conscious, what's subconscious. So all or most of my street photography is subconscious.
Okay.
When it comes down to my street photography, I literally don't think about anything. And there goes Sophie. Sophie, come here. Come here. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna hit her.
He's gonna trap her in the tube. I'm doing a play-by-play. He's using that to block off the pathway to the window so Sophie can't jump up. And Sophie's very angry about it. And now there's a vacuum. Sophie does not like the vacuum. Sophie really does not like the vacuum.
All I have to do is put it on the window.
Oh, and that's enough.
That's enough. Really, look. I put it there and now she's not. Look, watch.
Damn. Phobia no more.
You see?
Oh. It's okay, Sophie. I'm scared of vacuums too to some degree.
There you go. This is what I have to deal with every day. The worst part.
Oh.
I know, I love her, but... Yeah, let her go outside. Fuck it. It's funny because it's like a big-ass dog, and the dog does not give a shit about anything.
He's just chilling out there.
He's chilling. It's like a probably Shiba Husky mix. It is.
Oh my God, Steven, yes or no?
What?
Yes or no?
Is it cost money?
Yes.
Do you have money?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay, that was good enough for me. Okay, I'm gonna wait till after the podcast. If it sells out, it sells out.
What's on sale?
Art toy.
Okay. So, I know I got very off topic there, so
Yes, we did.
we're coming back to the conversation. So
So a lot of it's subconscious. You said.
So yeah, my street photography is mostly subconscious because two things with street photography. The first thing is it's super hard to have a plan. It's super hard to like have the idea of what you want to take a picture of, and then living in New York where everything changes by the
hustle
millisecond.
and bustle, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard for you to have an idea and then go out there and accomplish that idea.
Right.
But on the other hand, you could have vague ideas. You could have an idea. Like, I know I like reflections, so I'll be like just checking for reflections. And I know I like restaurants, so I'll be looking kind of through the windows of restaurants every so often and just like have those kind of ideas in mind. But it's like super vague, you know. It's just I'm looking for these general things. I'm not looking for. I want the word specific on this window to be cafe, and it's like a reflection of cafe or whatever. No, it's not like that. So I would say it's subconscious because even then sometimes I'm walking around, I'm not thinking about shit, and then it's like, oh, that'd be a good picture, and then click, and then I just keep walking. And then that's really how it is for my street photography. But when it comes down to my portrait photography, ahead of time, it's like I ask the person, like, you know, what are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? What kind of pictures do you want? How do you want to be portrayed in these pictures and things like that?
Yeah, very.
And so
that one's very consensual and like in every way.
yeah, so those are the things that I'm thinking about, and like I'm keeping a conscious mind. So I'm like, all right, so they want this, and the third.
Right.
These are the type of poses or positions that would be probably good if they want to seem like defensive and strong. Do they want to seem like, you know, I wouldn't say weak, but that's technically the word that they use, or like, you know, not defensive, just relaxed. Do you want to be like that? So it's like, of course, the positioning of your hands, your arms, your head, all that
body
stuff
language
changes.
is like a big thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
In a picture, that's all you get. You only get body language. There is no words to it. So when it comes down to my portrait photography, it's 100% like, you know, I'm thinking exactly what's going on in this moment.
Yeah.
Where in street photography, I've almost gotten hit by too many cars because I'm just not paying attention. So
Okay. Then you need to wear like a construction vest.
yeah, right.
Make sure you get highlighted. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
there's
God.
amount of times where Anna just grabs my arm and just pulls me back. She's like, "You got to stop," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "The car was about to hit you." She's like, "What car?"
It's like that. Like it's the equivalent of getting in the zone when you're like playing a sport or something. It's just very like
Yeah,
you just get into it. There's
Yeah.
no, you know, you don't get it. You don't tell yourself when you're in the zone. You just get yourself in the zone.
Yeah.
While you're doing the thing that you like to do, and that's like a good sign that
Yeah.
you're enjoying what it is you're doing because you get into that so often that you almost die.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go about it. I think the next best in the zone thing is you cut your ear off and then continue taking pictures.
no, I think I'm
right?
okay.
No, you're not. You should do that. You should
I know
strive for that.
I know I have love in my life. Wait, what was the thing about it? The girl rejected him at the end of the day or some shit,
think
right? That
so.
right? No,
Yeah,
but my girl's with me, so that doesn't work.
Damn. Never mind. Yeah, but you can do it for fun.
No, I'm good. I love music too much. I need both ears.
Fair enough. I can't argue that. Fair
Yeah.
enough. No, but that's dope. And I think my second question that I was going to ask.
No, you already forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm shooting a blank now.
No worries. The other thing I was gonna say is that you know, having a 9-to-5 job, being busy all the time, taking care of Sophie the dog who's around over there, and you know, family life is hard. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but like you know, I have a semi not healthy relationship with my family, and going out there and doing street photography is my therapy because it's like I get to be away from everything, and I literally get myself into this open mindset that you were just talking about, the unconscious mind. I get there on purpose, or like
Yeah.
not even. It's just it just happens automatically because that's my relaxation point.
It's like meditation.
Exactly, and so like when I'm doing street photography and I'm going out and I'm like just not focusing on anything and I'm just taking pictures of whatever. For me, it's like that's my meditation. It's like the part where I don't have to worry about my problems, or I don't have to worry about, you know, what errands do I have to run, what needs to get done, this and that and the third. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore when I'm out there, and that's like where my therapy comes in. That's where I feel happy most of the time.
Right, that makes sense. No,
So-
that's beautiful, actually.
Yeah, well, that's my NFT collection, guys.
There
That's
you
the
go.
point.
There you go. Bam. The plug.
What happened? I took away the vacuum. You can go back up there. Go. There you go. Ta-da! She's got it. All right, we're good. Did you remember the second question?
No, I didn't, but I was gonna ask something related to what you just said, but now I just forgot again. No.
Thanks, Sophie.
Ooh, fuck, what was it? It was a doozy of a question. I don't think it was, but like,
Does that have to do anything more with the subconscious and conscious mind?
no. Oh, I was gonna say because of the 9 to 5 thing that you brought up. Do you feel like your 9 to 5 actually amplifies the way you feel and what you interpret as beautiful in the outside world once you get out?
No.
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 You just equally
My 9
view
to
it
5
as-
is so plain.
Exactly. Do you
It's
think
like-
that amplifies the experience of when you're actually out taking pictures? Where you're just like, God, I hate this plain, boring, gray, dull building. Then you go outside and you're like, nightlife, colors, popping, life, windows, all that. Do you think it like amplifies it for you when you're in the conscious state of actually appreciating it?
You know, you might be right on that one. Now that I think about it, I never thought that. I never thought about that because it's like having the 9 to 5 is so mundane.
Your
And
brain
it's like-
deletes it from your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And all the walls are gray and everything's just like
plain.
plain.
It's
Yeah,
just garbage.
yeah, exactly. And if you ask me what I did at work yesterday, I can't tell you because I don't
Yeah.
remember.
No, I
But it's
feel
like,
that.
you know, there's a certain feeling you get when you're out in the city because we live in the suburbs. So like when you're out in Manhattan, there is a certain feeling you get, and it's an exciting feeling and it's a different feeling, and it's I would say strange and sometimes it makes me want to be living in the city and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I
and
get what you mean.
being part of the hustle. But amplifies it. Yeah, I guess it does because I get more excited about seeing the nightlife, and I get
Right.
more excited about seeing the colors. And then on top of that, being a street photographer, you get more
Yeah.
possibilities of shots. Where here in the
Yeah, because
suburbs,
everyone's getting out at 5 there. And then it's
Exactly.
and I assume like the anticipation must kill you when you're it's like when you're at work 9 to 5 and you're like, God, I can't wait to get my hands on my camera.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck, like
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, I would say it does that, and it's like the my favorite thing is nightlife, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there is no nightlife around here unless I want to stand on Bell Boulevard, and there's just drunk people.
yeah,
You know.
like all over the place, falling over.
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly. And so it's like it's gonna be too plain. I mean, I could do it. It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not hard.
But it's just like not as impressive. Like
Yeah.
you kind of have a general gist of the walks of life that go to Bell.
Yeah.
It's not very like diverse as it is going in the city where you can like one street over your people are stabbing each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Next street people are gentrifying it. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
everything.
So and even then, it's like you get different restaurants, different
Right.
reflections, different cars. That's like another
True, true,
thing.
true.
So like, and yeah, like you said, it's like there's so much more diversity in the people and everything that it makes it more interesting to be out
Right.
there more. But yeah, like I guess it does amplify it when I'm out there. Like the experience is way
Right.
more. I don't know how to explain it. Like I just enjoy the experience more.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if I ever move into a city, it would kind of kill it for that exact reason. Like,
you're right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I don't want to move into a city for multiple reasons, but I feel like now I think about it, it's like, yeah, that'll probably be another one for not moving into a city. I feel like it would kind of
The
kill
appreciation. For
the
it.
appreciation for it. Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. That is an interesting thought to put out. That really is like a big thing. Now, fuck, I had.
You keep-
I'm not doing
gonna
good
give
with
you a
questions, yeah.
Next podcast, I'm giving you a notebook and a pen.
Dude,
You
my
can-
memory is like shot. I don't know. I gotta stop going to the gym, start going to the library or something. I
I'm
gotta,
getting
oh
you a
my
notebook
God,
and a pen.
too much brawn, not enough brain.
Too much protein in your
Too
protein
much.
shake.
I'm losing it all. But no, I was gonna ask. Okay, so I have seen that you have film cameras. Do you also shoot film often? And
Yeah.
Do you have a specific subject that you keep in film, or is it very random, or what do you?
It's still the same.
Same thing.
It's
Okay,
still
interesting.
street photography. It's just
different
and
film stocks and.
it's different film stocks, and like, you know, the reason I use film is because I just feel like no matter how much you can edit a photo, unless you're like, you know, super high professional and like you sit there for
Yeah,
20
yeah.
hours, you're never gonna get the same look.
Right.
And you know, I don't take care of my film, so it's like they're literally sitting in my bedroom. That's like fucking. It could be really hot or really cold.
Right.
So, And that kind of destroys the film, but I like it because it comes out looking more vintagey, or it comes out looking more kind of,
Interesting.
like it looks further back in the past, and it could be
It's
like a
also
brand new car.
surprising because you never really know what you're gonna get with film.
Yeah.
It really is just chemicals reacting to light. So
Yeah.
for the most part, you can calculate it.
Yeah.
But then the other half of it's like, damn, this film could be expired. The chemicals could not be proper. It
Yeah.
could just be anything.
But then I
I
feel
like
like it
that
helps
aspect of
me.
it.
It also helps me my photography because there's no light meter.
Yeah.
So like I got a better grip on like what do I need for this type of occasion when I'm outside.
Yeah.
So like
makes you more versatile.
exactly.
When it comes to lighting and all that.
And so
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
if you can't put me in a film camera outside, and I don't know generally what settings I should be shooting around. And I feel like that's actually helped me in my digital photography because now I know like when I'm shooting in manual mode, I don't have to exactly pay attention to the exposure bar. I could just like kind of throw in the
Yeah,
settings
go
that I
by eyes.
want.
Yeah.
And just like do the setting changes on the fly.
Yeah, in a weird way, it becomes like kind of an extension when you shoot for long enough. It really does become an extension of self, where it's like, I'm in sunny weather, beep beep boop boop.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just said it. They don't make that sound, but
But what interests me about film is like, because I have so many previous like film photography books from the 60s and the 50s and things like that, and they're all in film. And it's like, even then, it's like sometimes they do like work that looks like they took it yesterday.
yeah,
So-
that's the one thing. It's consistent. It never really changes.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
As much hot take I might have on film, it really is very kind of like perfect in the way that it was already made. It really does take high quality pictures.
Yeah,
You don't need to get a super expensive one. You just need to know your basics.
yeah,
And then the film and the exposure. You really just have to point the camera in the right direction, and
yeah.
camera and the chemicals do a lot for it. And it will always come out beautiful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think like at the end of the day, it's the actual, not even the camera body. It's the actual lens that you use
True.
that
Glasses
is going to
important,
change
yeah.
that's actually going to change the photo, because I feel like when sometimes this is going to be controversial. I already know we're going to
Uh-oh.
get something about this.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes
Hot takes. Photography. Hot takes.
sometimes I feel like people are always talking about the camera body they have when it comes down to film
Yeah.
photos, and it's like, I have a Minolta SRT 101. Well, I have a 201. This one's better for this reason and
Yeah.
that. Or I have a Canon A1 or whatever, type of stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm really thinking to myself, like, what the hell is the difference? Because it's like, at the end of like, this is why I say the glass is more important, because at the end of the day, if I give both of these people the same film, now they just have the same film.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the body kind of does the same thing. If you no lens, it's just a shutter. You just click it, and you could operate how fast that shutter is, and then that's it. Because the film is going to stay constant no matter what, right? No matter what body you put it in, a Porta 400 is going to be the same across all the board, right? The body is just going to do the same thing. It's just depends on how fast can the shutter go or how slow can the shutter go, and then that's it. But the lens is the actual part that the light goes through and hits the film. And I think the lens is the more important part. So when people talk to me about camera bodies, I don't really give a shit, because to me, it's just like, it's going to be the same,
Yeah.
but it's going to do the same thing. But if you tell me you have a different lens, then I'm going to be
Damn,
like,
but my
okay.
RV67. No.
But that's a medium format.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Definitely different.
the ergonomics is different. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
the quality of that photo is just going to be from the lens, not from the body.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
For the most part, I can agree with that. But I'm still going to flex that I have an RV67, keep in mind.
I have a Canon AE1.
But
I'm very poor. I have the most basic ass
yeah,
camera.
Canon AE1s are so reliable, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why. Those are the basic because they're that good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Nikon AF1, basic, but that good. That's
I
why
want to
it's
get an
basic.
F3 so bad.
F3s are nice, too.
Yeah.
What I recommend everyone to do, like what you said, the camera body's like mid. It really is about the lens. I'd
Yeah.
recommend everyone just go buy like a toy film camera and use that and see what you get.
Oh my god!
Then have
get
like
a,
a side-by-side
get
comparison.
a
with
Kodak. I have one of those right now. I have the
Oh, there
Kodak
you go.
point and shoot. Like from our childhood.
it. Yeah.
I should have started with that. That's what really started me on photography as a kid, because my family
Oh,
would
there
get
you
me
go.
those point and shoots, because
Yeah,
they used to be
yeah.
like $5, and it'd take like $1 just
super
to
cheap.
yeah, it'd be like $1 to just develop it. So
Point and shoots are so good too. They're so nice to have.
yeah,
I have a Minolta like free or whatever.
I don't even know. I don't know any of the point and shoots.
Oh,
I just know the basic Kodak yellow fucking brick. That one.
no.
That
I
one
got
you
like
can talk to me. I know.
I got a nice little point and shoot that I take around, and I like my street photography goes from that. That's literally I only do street photography with my point and shoot, and I'll just take pictures of random shit. And it doesn't have to be a thing. Like, I do have this series I'm working on specifically for the 35 millimeter, and it's called The Perfect Frame. Oh, alpha. Free alpha for everyone. If you guys are in the NFT chat, introverts, just know I'm alpha right now. But it's called The Perfect Frame. And it's I'm not even going to go too much into it.
Don't, because, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
you got to, when you show this, you got to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. So.
It's titled The Perfect Frame, and it's going to be like maybe 100 pictures.
Damn, that's a lot.
And I'm going to be working on it throughout this entire year.
Okay.
Just to document a couple of things, because I feel like that's that important. Like you said, the quality of film does feel like the 60s pictures do feel like it was just taken yesterday.
Yeah.
And I want that to continue. I want the pictures of today to also be relevant in 60. And they're like, damn, look at my Grandpa Brandon and Grandpa Steven. They're just doing a podcast on their film camera.
Imagine.
That'd
my
be
God.
sick.
We would need a 16 millimeter for that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, actually, now I want to put out my hot take.
I already knew.
Because I just said that, and that kind of like goes into that. Like, if you do film, you're not special. And I feel like it doesn't add that much to your pictures in general either. If your whole selling point to any of your pictures, and I guess this is specifically NFT related, because no, Prince too, I guess, it's not that special to say, oh, you should buy these because I do film or I develop them myself. That used to be the standard. Everyone could do that. You're not fucking special. I used to be a big part in this where I'd be like, oh, it's on film, so pay for it? No, that's not. It does not matter what medium it's taken on. What matters is the concept, what's in the picture. Does the story tell by itself? And can you tell, like, was this your idea behind it, blah, blah, blah? It's just, that shouldn't be the selling point. Something that was used to be so normalized that everyone could do at home, that everyone was developing film and everyone was taking pictures of it. And clearly they were, because I have my baby pictures from when I was a kid because my dad was taking the pictures and getting them developed. It's not special. And that should not be your selling point. And matter of fact, I'm going to take that out my bio now that I think about it, because it's not that fucking special. But yeah, that's my hot take. I know people will disagree with me. But
I mean,
like that.
the two things with that is like, the first is like, I wouldn't say it's not special, because I feel like it is special. It's just not the selling point. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be your selling point. But doing film in itself
Well, exactly.
is
It shouldn't
the
be your
special.
selling. Okay. It shouldn't be your selling point because it's not
Yes,
special. Okay.
exactly. So it's like, you know, yeah, film is common, and there's so many film photographers now. Every other person has a film camera on top
So
of their
how
digital
special
camera.
really is it?
Yeah,
at that
so it's
point?
not that special, but I feel like, as I said before, you know, depending on what glass you have, depending on what settings you have, and depending on the film that you use, you do get a unique look that is super hard to copy. And so that part is like, it's kind of like iffy. Like I said, it's like, I agree with you. It shouldn't be your selling point.
Yeah.
Like, I did all this stuff on film, shouldn't be your selling point. It's like,
Right.
But you did mention it for a quick second. It's like, but if the idea within the picture is really good, that's
what transfers.
That's what transfers, and then your secondary or third, you know, one of the lower points is that, oh yeah, this is on film, which makes it a little bit better because
No problem.
the only reason I'm gonna say this is because film, you only get one shot.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you develop. So imagine it's like being a street photographer,
Absolutely.
and then you get that shot, and then you go home and that shot's fucked.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
No, I get where you're coming from, but now I have to say, like, it's so I get what you're saying because it is on film and you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
But a lot of these film photographers use light meters, which is the equivalent of me going into my digital camera and like auto and then like figuring out what kind of lighting I need, what kind of thing I need. Like, yeah, it's shot on film, but you also used all the benefits of modern day technology to get the exact exposure you needed, the aperture, the shutter speed.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes a little bit away from it because if that's the argument that you're putting, like, or if that's the argument that people put out that it's like, no, I shot on film, all film. Well, it's like, yeah, but also you did all this. So, you know, to some degree, it's kind of like it takes away from it.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%.
But like
a
the
lot
aesthetic of it
glass
is still
and, like,
gonna be.
It's very individual to every person's like, thing because not everyone shoots the same way. 100%. I can agree with
But
that.
like as you said, it's like it can't be your main number one selling point.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but it can be a selling point just near the end of the list.
Yeah, you can definitely mention like, oh, what was it? If they ask you what was this shot on, this was shot on film.
Exactly.
This film stock, this lens.
Exactly.
Then that, yeah,
But
that
then,
I get for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But then, like you said, it matters more about what's in the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I've seen some
I can
I've
agree
seen
with
some
that.
street pictures or like some film photos that it's just like you just took a picture of a plain ass street. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing there. It's like there's nothing. There's no idea to it.
Yeah.
Or like the idea, at least I don't grasp. And it's like,
Right.
but it's shot on film, and I'm like, your picture still sucks. So like,
Yeah, absolutely. But vibes, but tones, but green.
your picture still sucks.
Yeah. But first of the roll.
No, okay. First of the roll is kind of cool, even if it like just
Just because it's like half fucked
Yes,
up.
exactly. That's what I love about it. You ever, one time I almost broke a film canister, but you ever seen The Last of a Roll?
No.
Dude, The Last of the Roll is awesome too because it's the same idea. And sometimes
Oh, it's just like faded a little to the other side.
yeah, exactly. It's faded, so
I
it's
do
not
have
like
some
cut
pictures
off,
like
but it's
that.
like faded in. It's faded out. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. So that's like one of my other favorite ones. But it's hard to get for some reason, at least on my cameras.
I think when I load mine in properly is when I get it.
Yeah.
I like that happens a lot to me because sometimes I just quick fucking do it and like don't take no time on it and it fucks it up for me. But
Yeah.
it's fun. I like doing that.
What was the other thing? So, on whether this is special or not, here's a hot take of my own. So, whether this is special or not, what would you consider the value of photography in the art community? And to expand on that idea, I do art shows and things like
Yeah.
that, and it's kind of weird because being at art shows, I'm usually one out of the very few photographers, and it would be like one photographer, maybe three photographers out of 70 people. And so my question, yeah, I know, right? So it's like I'm out of my element, and it's
Yeah.
funnier because it's like I feel like my photography, although describes me, is super plain because it's super realistic. Like my photos are real, like they're not photoshopped. I didn't add elements. I didn't change or warp or do anything to the picture. So what I got out of my camera is what you're gonna see, and I'm not a fan of changing it. Now these other photographers, some of them would print it out and then like bleach the print and do things like that, which is
Yeah.
cool. And then other photographers go into Photoshop and heavily Photoshop the thing, so it's not even a photo anymore. But like the reason I'm saying this is like, do you think this is gonna be super controversial now? It's like, do you think photography is any less of an art than like actual like painters? That'd be the best way to describe it. Painters, sculptors, or any other thing.
No, I don't think it's any less of an art.
Yeah.
But it's because I've always seen photography as a means of like painting with light.
Yeah.
Prime example, my photography.
Yeah.
I literally use the movement of the lighting in my body to shape what it is I want and what I want to express. There's concept behind it, there's technique behind it, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff like the same way painters need paintbrushes, paints, and all that. I need my LED lights. I need my stands. I need all these separate things, all these different like, what is it? Not props. All these different tools that I need to make the
Yeah.
art that I make. I've never seen it as anything less than art. And I know some people have the argument, well, you're just pushing a button.
Yeah, exactly. And
And
those are
like-
people on the outside. Those are people that don't even
Absolutely.
do photography themselves.
And they'll just be like, I can do the same thing if I had a camera. And
I would hand them my camera and be
yeah.
like, you could try,
So,
go for
yeah,
it right now.
So do it and get paid for it. Then.
Yeah.
If it's so easy, then it
Yeah.
really is as easy as picking up a camera as everyone says, then everyone would be a photographer because, for the most part, you just have to push a button. Correct. You do push the button.
Yeah.
Now, what goes inside the concept behind like pushing the button is that we have to formulate these ideas because we have this small box in front of us
Yeah.
where we have to put, depending person per person, I put a fucking like essays worth of shit into my pictures
Yeah.
because I like to think my pictures through.
Yeah.
For someone to come up to me and be like, "That's not art. You don't paint." It makes me think. I'm like, why doesn't anyone ever simplify the idea that painters just push paint around with a brush?
Yeah.
No one does that, but it's because I guess it's more you have to you there's no other way to say it, but for a fact that hours and hours of work went into it
Yeah.
because there's no real easy way to replicate paint
Yeah.
unless you put that time and effort to like actually like
Yeah.
yeah, it's a fake Mona Lisa, but some guy actually sat down there for weeks and painted a fake Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
You can't argue that. Granted, like us photographers, we can sit somewhere for like an hour and it's really just us looking at something for an hour at like different angles and maybe going over here and going over there, different
Yeah.
lenses, and then we just go click and then we just Nice. Then we go back home, and then no
That's
one,
me with my photos.
no one takes into consideration that, like, yeah, we took the picture that easy, but that hour of sitting had to take consideration of composition, the lighting. You know, is this the right? Do I want to underexpose it, overexpose it? Do I
Yeah.
want to keep some of the shadows in? Do I want, you know, is my framing correct? Like, will I put emphasis on the right thing? Will that lighting help that emphasis on the right thing? Then we go home and Photoshop sometimes, or like Lightroom it, or sometimes we don't. And then it turns into this whole other thing. Well, now we have to know technique for editing.
Yeah.
Now we have to, like, cropping is like a whole fucking book's worth of its own
It
thing.
really is.
And
I
again,
just do 16 by 9. I quit.
there you go.
That'd
See?
be-
And see
Not
the-
even for the gram for myself. 16 by 9 just
There
happens
you
to work
go.
a lot.
And it's like damn, that is painting. Yeah, painting is composition, framing, and that's why I get painting books too to read, because it helps my photography. Because I learned composition and lighting,
Yeah.
and it all like ties in together. I've never seen it as anything less than art,
Yeah.
and it's just another means of self-expression
It's
through
just-
other things.
Yeah, it's just on the public view for
Yeah,
people
public
who are
views.
outside of it. It's so weird because it's like we know that it takes this much
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
it right, or to even get the photo in a correct way,
Yeah,
but they don't know that. And
I know.
so,
I think that.
go just say it now
okay.
because you're gonna forget. I know
I was
who
gonna
you are.
I was gonna say, you know what also like kind of takes away from the art style itself?
Yeah.
It's the accessibility.
Yes.
Because of the quality, like you mentioned earlier, phone quality has gone up by so much. It does compete with some digital cameras.
Yeah.
It does. It is on par with some digital cameras, and it's so accessible. Like some of these cameras are like what, $100, and you can get a DSLR sometimes at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And with like multiple lenses, of course everyone's gonna assume that like anyone can do it. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because anyone can buy it. It's hard to go to like Michael's, buy a canvas yay big is like $40.
Yeah.
Buy a whole bunch of figure out acrylic or oil paints.
Yeah, and even
buy
then,
the paintbrushes.
The good acrylic paint
Yes.
is expensive.
Yes, buy the paintbrushes.
Yeah.
Get an easel or something laid down on maybe like, you know, whatever your house, and then to sit down there and go draw a stick figure. Like not everyone can do, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone can paint. That's why people go to school for this. People travel across country for this.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm learning how to classically draw balls. And it's like, yeah, and that's hard.
Yeah.
So good on you. Like,
But then doesn't that make photography seem valued less because of that?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
the
it does.
inaccessibility of it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
So-
that's probably why people see it so beneath like
Yeah.
painting and everything, because of how accessible it is.
Yeah.
Well, other people have to go to, and then like, yeah, there's photography school. No one talks about it though.
Yeah, no. It's not.
Everyone's just like, I go on YouTube and search up.
But then I looked into those at a long time ago, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
turns out it's like a lot of film.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like-
they teach darkroom.
Yeah,
stuff
I
and
was
all
gonna
that,
say
yeah.
like the first two classes is Darkroom 1, Darkroom 2.
Makes sense.
And then the other ones is like mastering like lighting and ISO and all that stuff. And then it gets more digital as it goes
Right,
on.
right.
But the first thing you have to do is do film.
Film. It
in
makes
order
sense
to do
because
that.
that's where you get like the actual
Yeah.
field work of it
And,
and the better understanding of it.
Yeah. So I was gonna say it's like yeah, so I don't know. It's like in the public view, people don't really I wouldn't say like they don't like photography. I'm just saying that they don't value it as high, and that makes it so hard. Because even in the NFT community that we're in, it's like we are a bunch of photographers and our group is a ton of photographers. But even then it's like most of the most common thing is profile pictures, and a lot of it none of them are photos. All of them are all digital art of some kind, and like digitally graphic design, like drawn on a computer, or it's a painting, or
I've
it's an
only
actual
ever
drawing.
seen like maybe 2 PFP projects that are like photography.
Yeah, but even then, it's a photography, and they changed the background, and they did
Yeah,
this, and they photoshopped this into it. And
No,
took this
actually,
out.
no. The 2 that I'm talking about are like actual. Like I think one of them
Oh.
is like a Cuban project, and it's just like Cuban artists that are just in front of a thing, and they give them like
Oh, I
different
heard
props
that
and
one.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's another one called like Snack Mask or Snack something, and the guy has like different foods on his face.
Yeah, but then
And,
it's like those aren't as popular as like
Yeah,
Monster
exactly, they're
Mates
not.
or like photo whatever the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
the photography guy, things like that. Like those are way more popular, and but they're not photos.
That is
And
true.
so like it makes it hard for photographers, at least in my position. Like I said, I do art shows and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm one out of 3 photographers
Right,
in the whole
right.
entire show, and it's like I kind of doubt myself sometimes, because it's like, is my stuff worth less just like because it's not on paint? you know?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and on top of that, like compared to yours, like yours is experimental and like conceptual and like there's so much thought. Mine is the opposite, where it's like mine is realistic. Mine is realism, I guess is basically what it is. It's realism. It's like what I saw out there is what you're gonna get.
Right.
So it's like it makes it a whole different kind of idea when it comes down to it, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I definitely get where you're coming from. I don't think it makes it any less though.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Sure.
I'm not saying but that's the controversial point.
No,
it's like we value it highly because we do it, but people on the outside don't value it at all.
Yeah. People would just be like, yeah, I could take a picture outside of a car.
Yeah.
And then.
But then it's like, can you make it look good though?
Right.
And then can you do it on a camera that doesn't have an auto function?
Right. And are you gonna?
I don't even think my camera has an auto function. I'm gonna check after. I mean, I shoot manual. I shoot only manual.
Right. And then it's like, are you also gonna get it printed? Are you gonna figure out what print?
But then even then, it's like print is like, I'll be honest, a small print, a letter size, a paper size print is like $5.
No, I mean, but like figuring out what print works best for the colors of your thing is like a whole.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, dude. The amount of papers that I had to go through to figure out, like, I know I want glossy, I know I want this, that, and the third.
And then people don't take that into consideration either. Again, it's just this whole complex thing. But I do like the question though, because I do think that a lot of people are kind of on that spectrum of, especially from the outside, where it's it really is just anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it, because it's such an oversaturation of the market in photography in general. Everyone's a photographer now.
Yeah.
I can throw a rock outside and I'd probably hit a photographer who's taking a picture of me throwing a rock.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what it is. And
I think, like you said earlier, it's just accessible now. Especially, I mean, I don't, I could tell most of the time between a phone and a camera photo. I don't like, that was the thing. That was the reason that made me do a camera, was more because I saw photos of a camera and I saw photos out of my phone and I could tell the quality. Or not even, I wouldn't call it a quality difference, but the way the picture looks is very different out of both of them. It's like, the quality of a phone camera is good, but and even with film, like the aesthetic of a film camera, the aesthetic of a actual camera, of digital camera, and the aesthetic of a phone camera is like they're their own aesthetics. Absolutely. And as people like us, we could most likely tell it apart. And it's like,
you can see like the pre-edits that the phone do. You can tell that it's like somewhat edited already.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. What's funny is that I dropped my phone and I'm pretty sure I broke the focusing motor.
Did you actually?
Yes.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
Yeah. And I bought it like last year. It's a 12. Right?
That fucking sucks.
Or 2 years ago now. But yeah, I broke it. So now I can't, I have no close-up focus. So if I wanted to take a picture of this, you know, like a regular person can take a picture about like, as close as they want. But right here, it's out of focus. Now it's in focus. But like most people can get all the way up because it has a macro function.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take a picture of my dog over there. I can't get that close to her.
That fucking sucks.
Well, that's what I have my camera for. It's fine.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, at least you have a camera.
Yeah, but no, I've always fought myself on that idea at the art shows because of that reason. So yeah, I mean, on the other hand, it's great because now I handed out my business card and people can call me for portrait shoots, and that's one thing that is super hard to do on the phone. It's like you can look good on a photo, but you won't look as good as on a camera.
True.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's it's an up and down, and it's like, do you the future of photography? Where do you? So in two parts, where do you think the medium of the photography stuff is going to go? Is it going to be more online? Is it going to be more in print? Is it going to be both? Is it going to be like dead? Is it going to be too oversaturated?
I think it is going to be oversaturated in the online world, because I know people do want to use blockchain technology as a means for archiving photography and like people's work, and I get that, and I do see that as a possibility. And I know people don't think of it as a legitimate thing. I want to use the full word to sound smarter. I know people don't view it as a legitimate format of saving or archiving work, because a majority of the time a lot of these pictures are in JPEG format. And people view JPEG as because I get it. JPEG is like a compression of the file.
Yeah.
So I get what people say, like it's not valid way of thing, but you can save TIFF files. You can save you can put those up, and I think that is only going to continue evolving in the future, where we'll be able to upload bigger files and stuff of that sort on the blockchain. Granted, it might cost more because of gas fees, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have the people who are specifically always gonna be fuck the blockchain. It's all about prints, baby. And they're gonna continue doing that. I never see it. They're gonna be like a fall off of both.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things that's gonna continue on. And what I truly do see in that, I do want to learn more about making my own contracts and stuff like that to interact with my photography on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And I think that's the direction photography is gonna go when it begins to adapt to the blockchain,
Yeah.
where they're gonna be able to use. Prime example, it was a photographer who was doing a collaboration with a PFP project, and basically collaboration they were using the PFP project's contract, which allows the NFTs to age. So every 3 months, the PFP changes, it gets older. So what they
That's
did with
really
this
cool.
photography, yeah, it's dope. So what he did is like it's a still life picture of flowers, and then the longer you hold it, the flowers over time die. So slowly the picture begins to change into like from fully alive flowers when you buy
That's
it.
nuts.
Yeah, and it like slowly begins to wilt and you get the full process of it. And that when the first time I saw it, it blew my mind because it only made me realize how much it can open the possibilities of so many things. And what solidified this for me was I bought into a project of an artist I really like, and it changes the colors of the picture depending on the time of day.
Oh
So,
yes, that one I know. That one I know.
I liked
yeah.
it. I sold it, and like when I looked at it, I was just thinking, imagine you can do that with your photography where you get one picture for like 12 hours a day, and let's say depending on the picture, from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., it changes into something else. Like
Yeah.
it becomes like a darker version of that picture for only that 1 hour of the day, which makes it all the more,
Yeah.
all the more reason
I
for a
have
person to
that
stay up.
as two prints. I have two prints
Oh, see, there
that
you
are
go.
taken 1 hour apart at the same exact location,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and one of them is lighter and the other one is just dark.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I
That-
love it, and especially
and-
because it was wintertime, so that
Yeah,
1 hour
yeah.
really made a difference, and it was in the afternoon. It was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sunset.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah, that's what I see. And see, there's always going to be this whole thing for prints.
Yeah.
Prints like that are always valued
Yeah.
because it's a physical, tangible thing that person can buy and hold. And
Yeah.
then they can be like, this is from you. Thank you. You know, on the blockchain, someone buys something off of me and they see my PFP and they're like, thank you, cartoon man, for giving me this
Yeah.
this ticket, this receipt. And that's what's going to like throw a lot of people off from that. So,
So the
I'm
future-
like at a standstill. The future is going to be 60-40.
60.
40 being NFTs,
Okay.
60% being physical prints and all that.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue in the realm that it's already in. Because
Yeah.
I clearly don't go to photography shows, but I know that they're happening.
Not really.
And I'll go to...
I've
oh,
never heard of photography shows.
never mind. Never mind.
There's
They're
photography
not.
galleries, and it's usually like one person or maybe a small group
Yeah,
of
that
people.
makes
But
sense.
but shows are used like this is why I was saying earlier. It's like
It's just... Yeah.
I'm one
oh,
out of
damn.
3. If I'm lucky, there's another person. This last art show, I was the only.
It's not looking too good, guys. Okay,
No,
73.
I'm sorry. I'm one out of 2 photographers. I was 1 out of 2 photographers out of 45 people.
Yeah, yeah. Damn. So it's not looking good. Okay, so like 80-20. Because a
I don't
lot of
know.
the photographers in
know.
the real world who aren't doing NFTs are complaining about it.
Yeah.
So I get maybe it's like slowly phasing out, but they're not going to go away. They're going to continue. Because at the end of the day, photography is being done for what it is.
Yeah.
Because you love it. And a lot of people are not going to make the transition because they don't love NFTs. And
Yeah.
I get that.
And I feel like the only, way you can make money off photography
Yeah.
is by providing the services, not by selling.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
your stuff.
absolutely.
And that's the other thing. It's like that's going to be kind of hard because you got to. Oh, and then I was going to have a follow up question.
Yeah.
But it was like you got to be able to provide services in order to continue in photography.
true.
If like you wanted to make it a full time profession.
True.
That's the other part. It's like for people like you can do NFTs full time, but then you're going to be like spending money to make
Oh,
money.
there we go. Now, what you just said actually jog that. I was going to say it's literally going to become the hot take that I had earlier where film photography isn't special because everyone used to do that.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be digital photography isn't special because everyone does that.
Yeah.
Because
Well, it's
gonna
not special
translate-
now because everybody
Yeah,
does
because
it. And that's
everybody.
now.
And then, oh yeah, you're right. And then NFTs are going to be like, your pictures don't move after like a certain time. They
Yeah.
don't change. Your shit's old.
Yeah.
And it's going to go like that. It's going to trickle down like that. But people are always going to do it. There's always going to be devout people to those specific mediums that they're used
Of course.
to. And I guess that's where I see it as.
But then there is no other kind of like what is the photography after
future-
this? You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
get
yeah.
any more digital than it is
yeah,
now.
yeah. The future, though, I do see is just us incorporating more contracts into photography.
Probably.
Where we're able to change up
But that's an NFT world.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's still photography.
Yeah, no, it is.
I know a lot of people don't like to consider like NFT or like NFT isn't photography, and it's like no, yeah, it
But that's-
definitely is.
Yeah.
It's just we're saving something on a different place.
Yeah.
or moving the file over,
Yeah.
and then we're editing it from there with contrast.
And we still went out there and took the picture too.
Yeah.
You
So
know, we still did
it's-
the time for it.
It's photography at its core,
Yeah.
and that's where I think it's gonna go.
Yeah. It's really
That's good. I might have to. I might go back on that answer at a later date, but I do have to think about that a lot. Actually.
yeah,
That's a
because for
really
me
good
it's
question.
like, you know, I do agree it's going to be definitely like a more like a 60-40, 60% physical, 40% NFT. But then the other part of it is that it's like I said, you have to provide services. Like if you wanted to be a full-time photographer on top of all that, you know, you have to provide services. And then I was going to bring that up. I was going to be like, well, the only other thing to photography is videography.
yeah,
It's like doing videos and things like that. And that's the other kind of challenge that I feel like photographers are having. Because like for me, for example, I'm going to take myself because I am one of these people.
Yeah.
It's like I'm primarily a photographer and I am not too much of a fan of sitting down and editing videos and doing videography and things like that. But with the, you know, Instagram, of course, going more towards video, TikTok being such a big thing, Vine used to be such a big thing, YouTube is a big thing. And it's like, how do you, you know, that's another reason that I feel like photography is starting to become a smaller niche.
Right,
Because even if
you have to keep up with all these different things.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, it's like if you get a brand new camera, it's going to have like so many video qualities, whether you use it or not, that's on you.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like most people who are buying these cameras is primarily video and then secondary videography.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like about, you know, I guess photography being smaller, but then how do you feel about like videos becoming the more value, like it is more valued? Like how do you feel like with videos becoming a more valued thing?
I don't mind it if I'm being honest. I'm a very big I'm a film guy. Like I literally collect Blu-rays of movies. I love cinematography and videography and all that stuff. It's just pretty to me, and I like that it's becoming such a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Because it really opens the door for more things to possibly come out in the future. But I'm looking at it as like this guy's making TikToks now, but maybe he'll direct a movie someday because I like what he's doing.
I doubt that, but all right.
You never know. You never know. I follow some pretty talented
You know,
people.
I can't say that because I followed a lot of guys on Vine, and then they ended up on like Wild and Out and
Oh,
like, all this stuff. So
yeah. It's like you never really know. But I just, again, so accessibility on one point is horrible.
yeah,
To some degree. I wouldn't even consider it horrible because it's just people fucking around and having fun.
yeah,
But accessibility is also a good thing because now we have people that come into this space and who might have fresh ideas.
yeah. No,
They
that's
might have
true.
like mind-blowing things that I've never would have thought of, and they're gonna potentially change it for all we know. And that's why I like it. So I don't mind cinematography, videography, or anything of that sort becoming like such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it really is just an extension of photography. It's just a
Yeah.
whole bunch of pictures being put together to create a story.
But then, how do you feel about it being valued more than photography? Because it
I
sort
get
of
it.
is.
I get it though because it's like a lot more effort being put into it.
Yeah.
Because it's not only do you have to actually frame, compose everything, now you got to color correct. Now you got to do the proper cuts. Now you got to actually storyboard everything. If you're making a video like a 5-minute video and it's supposed to be like super,
intense,
super
like,
intense, or
in-depth.
it's supposed to look if it's supposed to, you're doing all these things. 5-minute videos could possibly take you an hour each minute just to edit, and you're gonna post process it for what, like a whole day, and then you're gonna be like, fuck.
Man,
I
post
didn't-
processing a whole day. Just one of my like 5-minute videos took me like a couple of days.
Oh, see. So can you imagine?
But I'm shitty
like-
at it. Let me put
Oh,
the
okay.
hashtag at the end. I'm still like a beginner at it.
Yeah.
I know how to cut and put things together,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
after that, it's just, everything's down the
Okay.
drain. You know.
I remember I used to do like a little bit of color coding when I used to because I used to make stop motion videos and shit.
Yeah.
And
Stop motions are the awful because
those were
they're
dis-
amazing to see.
No, yeah. Oh,
But it's
making
awful
them,
because
though,
like you need 1,000 frames for like maybe a couple of seconds.
yeah, that's literally I spent a whole like 3 days taking pictures of like it was like a little Lego bear brick.
Gumby.
The classics. Little Gumby. No, dude, it was like
I was gonna say Gumbo and I forgot. It's like-
classic Gumbo. It took me 3 days to get 30 seconds
yeah,
of
sounds
it
about
just
right.
building itself up, and then I was just thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
I was happy with the result, but the idea of me going through it, but it was like worse because I was in a tiny room and I
Yeah.
didn't know how to space everything out properly. So it was just a mess.
Either
of
way,
shit.
either
But
way,
it's-
it does take time.
it
That's
does,
why
but
so stop motion. Damn.
Yeah, but it gave me like a whole bunch of like appreciation for it afterward. Where I'm just like, damn, the people who make movies
Yeah.
like this, praise be to them because I can't fucking do that. I wish I could and maybe learned more of it. But yeah, it's like this whole thing. So I do think it makes sense that it's valued more than photography, just because it's also more consumable.
Yeah.
Because of Instagram and TikTok focusing on reels and
Exactly.
stuff.
That was
of
another
sort.
thing
Yeah,
that I was
yeah.
going to say. It's like, it's becoming too. I mean, I don't want to say basic, but it is. It's like
Right,
it's
right.
becoming very.
It's normal. It's
minimal.
becoming the normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
becoming the norm, and it's becoming minimal.
Absolutely.
So
And that's where it goes.
But I think that's a good thing, because at least that means, like, when you do see a higher end quality video, like, you're
Yeah.
gonna recognize that it's a quality video, and that person might be putting in more
Absolutely.
work than, like, the people doing the dances.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part about it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to bring up for photography today? NFTs or all that jazz? So that's basically all the questions I had that we ran through.
Yeah,
Anything
no,
else
it was-
controversial? Any other hot takes?
No, I don't really have anything controversial to say. Just get your cameras out and take pictures.
Yeah. No, I
You
mean,
know you
after
can
all
get-
this,
yeah.
you still got to go out, do something with photography.
Yeah, and feel free to comment and let us know what you don't agree with or agree with.
Yeah.
Because
of
I
course.
really do like discussion, and I'm always open to change my mind if you guys bring up valid points.
Except for the film part.
Except for the film part. Fuck film people, especially.
Even though we're film photographers
Yeah.
ourselves,
Yeah.
like, it's not that special
Fuck
anymore.
me especially. Fuck that guy. I don't even like myself like that. But for the most part, no. That was a good. Those were really good questions you had, actually.
Thank you.
It's gonna make me
I
think
tried.
about it.
I was thinking except for like one of them was like the one that I like told you ahead of time, but everything else.
Oh
was like,
yeah. But like those are really good questions. But yeah, for the most part, get your cameras, go out, take pictures, because that's the only way you're gonna get better.
Yep.
And if you're a videographer, cinematographer, hit me up because I want to learn more about that.
Same. No, definitely hit me up. I'm the
So
one who's
there you
editing
go.
these videos. Damn it. Fuck him.
True.
I'm kidding.
True. He's not wrong though.
Hit us both up, and we'll talk, guys.
Absolutely.
All right.
And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Love you guys and have a beautiful day.
Don't
or
forget
night.
to like, comment, subscribe on the videos.
There you
We
go.
have one coming out every Sunday at 12. So remember to hit the subscribe button so that way you guys know anytime it comes out.
And do a push up.
Do a push up. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.